Have you ever woken up one morning, looked out the window, and wondered, why do I feel so heavy? It may not be that your body is tired, but rather that invisible things you've been carrying around for years, things that no longer fit your current life. After 70, life should be a journey of lightness, freedom, and joy. But sometimes, it's old habits, thoughts, or emotions that silently hold you back. They're like old suitcases gathering dust in the corner of your house, leaving you no room to welcome new things. Today we'll explore 7 things to throw away so you can live more fully, starting with the mental burdens that are draining you without even realizing it. Imagine you're standing at the door to a new chapter of your life, one filled with energy, meaning, and freedom. But to walk through that door, you need to leave behind what no longer serves you. This isn't about cleaning your house or rearranging your schedule, but rather a deeper journey, clearing your mind, your heart, and your space. In this first part, we'll focus on the first 3 things to let go of: the guilt of saying no, the negative self-talk in your head, and the fear of not being able to form new friendships. These things, though invisible, have enormous power in shaping how you feel about yourself and the world around you. 1. Feeling guilty about saying no. Think about the last time you were invited to an event, maybe a family gathering, a community event, or a favor from an acquaintance. You were tired, and you wanted to relax, or do something for yourself, but a little voice in your head whispered, "If I say no, they'll be disappointed. They'll think I'm selfish," and so you nodded yes, even though your heart was screaming the opposite. After age 70, the guilt of saying no is one of the biggest burdens many people carry. It's like an invisible backpack, weighing down on your shoulders when you want to protect your time, your energy, or your peace. Why do we feel this way? For many of us, especially those who have spent our lives raising families, building careers, or helping our communities, saying yes has become a habit. We were taught that saying yes is polite, it's our responsibility, it's a way to keep people close. But now, when your time and health are your most precious assets, you need to learn to say no without feeling guilty. Saying no doesn't mean you're rejecting love or connection. It means you're choosing yourself, honoring your own needs, and creating space to live in alignment with what you truly want. Consider Min, a 72-year-old woman in Hanoi. After retiring, Min became a full-time grandmother, caring for her grandchildren, cooking for her family, and participating in all the activities of the local women's association. Although she loved her family, she was often exhausted, with no time for reading or taking walks, the things that once brought her joy. One day, when invited to lead a community event, Min took a deep breath and said, "Thanks, but I can't do it this time." She worried that people would judge her, but to her surprise, they respected her decision. Min spent the weekend painting, a hobby she had neglected for decades. For the first time in years, she felt a sense of relief, as if a boulder had been lifted off her back. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you honest, with yourself and with those around you. When you say no kindly and clearly, you send the message that you value your time and want to spend it on things that matter. What's more, it inspires others. When your children and grandchildren see you setting healthy boundaries, they learn that they have the right to do the same. They see life after 70 not as an endless series of obligations, but as an opportunity to live intentionally. How to start? Try this. The next time someone invites you to do something you don't really want to do, stop and ask yourself, is this fun for me? Is it in line with my health or desires? If the answer is no, say something as simple as, "Thank you for thinking of me, but I need a break right now." You don't need to elaborate or feel guilty. Remember that every time you say no to something that doesn't feel right, you're saying yes to your joy, your peace, and yourself. Imagine the relief you'll feel when you drop that guilt backpack. You no longer have to worry about pleasing everyone. You can take time to walk in the park, read a favorite book, or just sit with a cup of tea and enjoy the silence. It's a gift you deserve after all your years of dedication. So if you're still carrying around the guilt of saying no, put it down. You've done enough. Now it's time to live for yourself. 2. Negative self-talk. Have you ever heard a little voice in your head say things like, I'm too old to try this, I've failed so many times, or no one wants me anymore. That voice isn't the real you. It's negative self-talk, a habit of thinking that may have started a long time ago, perhaps from past criticism, failures you've never let go of, or unrealistic expectations society has placed on you. After 70, these negative self-talks act like invisible strings, tying you to your own joy, confidence, and potential. It's time to cut them so you can live more freely. Consider Lan, a 76-year-old woman in Da Nang. Lan had always dreamed of learning to dance, but every time she thought about signing up for a class, a voice in her head would say, "You're too old to learn. People will laugh at you." That voice held her back for years, until one day her 12-year-old granddaughter asked her to join a community dance class. Lan was hesitant at first, but the look of excitement in her granddaughter's eyes made her decide to give it a try. Her first steps were awkward, but as she laughed along with everyone in the class, she realized that the negative voice was wrong. She wasn't too old to try, and no one laughed at her. They even praised her for her courage. Negative self-talk is often not based in truth. It is the product of fear, self-doubt, and sometimes the false message from society that getting old means you're done. But what is the truth? You have lived through decades of challenges, loves, and growth. You have stories, lessons, and resilience that no one can take away. Every day you wake up is an opportunity to continue growing, learning, and enjoying life. So why let a false voice stop you? How to change? First, recognize when your negative voice comes up. When you think, "I can't do this," stop and ask yourself, what would I say to a close friend if they thought that? You might say, "You can do it. You're stronger than you think." So say it to yourself. Replace negative thoughts with positive affirmations, such as, "I've been through so much, I can try this," or "I deserve to be happy, no matter how old I am." Try writing down 3 things you're proud of about yourself. Maybe the way you raised your kids, a skill you've mastered, or simply your perseverance in the face of adversity. Look at your list every morning and remind yourself that you're a valuable, growing person. If you're around people who make you feel inadequate, consider spending less time with them and finding people who lift you up, friends, family, or even a community group where you feel valued. Letting go of negative self-talk doesn't mean you'll never doubt yourself again. It means you choose not to let those doubts control your life. Imagine yourself standing in front of an open field, no longer bound by invisible strings. You can walk, explore, and enjoy the world with the confidence that you still have much to offer. That's a gift you can give yourself today. 3. The belief that new friendships are impossible. One quiet afternoon, you sit by the window, watching people pass by, and a quiet feeling creeps into your heart. You may miss the lively days with old friends, the laughter at get-togethers, or the conversations that lasted until late at night. But now, many of your close friends have moved away, lost contact, or are no longer here. You wonder, can I find that feeling of connection again, or are friendships just for the young? If you ever thought that building new friendships after 70 was impossible, then that is a belief that needs to be thrown away. It is like a wall that blocks you from new relationships that could brighten up your life. Friendships don't have an expiration date. No matter how old you are, your heart still craves connection, to be listened to share, to laugh. It's true that new friendships in your 70s may look different than they did in your 20s. You may not meet at the coffee shop until midnight, or go on adventures together, but you can find common ground over shared interests, life stories, or even similar losses. A new friend could be a neighbor you just started talking to, someone who sits next to you in art class, or a member of a volunteer group you join. Consider Hung, a 75-year-old man in Saigon. After his wife died, Hung became withdrawn, rarely leaving the house except to go to the market. He thought no one would want to be friends with an old man like him. But one day, he joined a morning walking group in the park near his house, just for a change of pace. There, he met Mai, a 73-year-old woman, who had also lost her husband. They started talking about the flowers in the park, and gradually shared about their lives, families, and even their sorrows. Now they meet every week, not only to walk, but also to drink tea and tell stories. Hung says Mai has brought light to days when he thought he was alone. How do you open yourself up to new friendships? Start small. Join an activity you enjoy. Maybe a cooking class, a book club, or a volunteer group. Don't worry about impressing. Just be yourself, smile, and ask a simple question like, "How long have you been in this group?" Small talk can lead to big connections. If you're shy about putting yourself out there, try striking up a conversation with a neighbor, or reaching out to an old acquaintance you haven't seen in a while. Opening yourself up to new friendships takes a little courage, especially if you've been hurt or lost in the past. But remember, you don't need to find a perfect friend. You just need someone who makes you feel understood, even if only for a moment. Every smile, every story, every shared moment is a building block for a new friendship. Let go of the wall of belief that you can't connect anymore. The world is full of people waiting to meet you, and you have so much to offer them. After clearing your mind and heart of invisible burdens, it's time to look around you, at your home, your living space, and the plans you once held. After 70, the tangible and intangible things you hold onto can become burdens, making you feel trapped rather than free. In this section, we'll explore 2 things to let go of, to make room for your present life. Old things tied to the past, and expired goals that no longer serve you. At the same time, we'll touch on something equally intangible, but equally important: fears about your health, and what you can't control. 4. Old furniture is associated with the past. Walk into your home and look around. In the corners of your closets, on your bookshelves, or in your basement, you may find items that have been there for decades. A set of disposable dishes from a holiday party 20 years ago, a sweater you no longer wear but keep for the sake of memory, or a pile of files from a job you retired from long ago. These items may have had meaning, but now they may be taking up space, not just in your home, but in your mind. After 70, clearing out old things isn't just about organizing your home. It's about freeing yourself from the past and living fully in the present. Why do we hold on to things? Sometimes it's emotional. An old dress reminds you of your younger days. A rusty set of tools reminds you of projects you've done. Sometimes it's fear. If I throw this away, I'll regret it. What if I need it? But the truth is, holding on to too much stuff doesn't help you preserve memories. It keeps you trapped. Every time you open your closet and see items you no longer use, you're faced not just with physical clutter, but with unanswered questions. What should I do with this? Who will need it after me? These questions are like strings pulling you back, preventing you from enjoying the present. Consider Mrs. Nunja, 78, who lives in Hue. Her house is filled with items from her teaching days. Old textbooks, student assignments from 30 years ago, and even the small blackboard she used for tutoring. She keeps them because she feels they define who she is. But every time she cleans, she feels stressed, unsure of what to do with them. One day, her son suggests cleaning together. They choose to keep one special notebook and donate the rest to a local library. After the cleanup, Mrs. Nunja feels like a burden has been lifted. Her house feels more spacious, her mind feels lighter, and she has started spending time growing flowers, something she has always wanted to do, but never had the mental space to do. Clearing out old stuff doesn't mean erasing the past. It means sifting through what's meaningful and letting the rest go. Start small: a drawer, a bookshelf. For each item, ask yourself, do I use this? Does it spark joy? Does it reflect who I am today? If the answer is no, consider donating, recycling, or throwing it away. If you're nervous about letting go of items that have sentimental value, take a photo or write a short story about the item's meaning before letting it go. When you're cleaning, invite a family member or friend to join you. Not only will they help you make decisions, but they'll also turn the process into an opportunity to share memories. Think of your home as a canvas. Every item you keep is a stroke of paint, and you want that canvas to reflect who you are today, not 20 years ago. When you create physical space, you also create mental space for joy, creativity, and new experiences. 5. Expired goals. Do you ever lie in bed at night and think about the things you once wanted to do, write a book, travel the world, or open a boutique? Those goals may have once been the fire that drove you, but now they can feel like reminders of what's not done. After 70, carrying around goals that no longer fit your current life is like dragging a suitcase full of rocks. It wears you down without providing you with any benefits. It's time to let go of expired goals and make room for the things that truly matter today. Consider Mr. Tam, 80, who lives in Nha Trang. When he was young, he always said he would learn to play the guitar to perform for his family. But his busy life with work and raising children kept him from getting started. Even though he was retired, he still felt pressured every time he saw the old guitar in the corner of the house. I failed, he thought. One day his grandson asked, "Would you like to teach me how to make a kite?" Mr. Tam realized that he enjoyed sharing knowledge more than learning a new skill. He gave up on playing the guitar, and instead spent time making kites with his grandson, finding joy in it that he never expected. Letting go of old goals doesn't mean giving up on your dreams. It means reevaluating what's truly important to you today. Maybe when you're 40, you wanted to climb mountains or write novels. But now your joy may come from telling stories to your grandchildren, planting a small vegetable garden, or learning to cook a new dish. These new goals are no less valuable. They reflect who you are now, with your current health, interests, and circumstances. How do you know which goals to let go of? Sit down with a piece of paper and write down the things you used to want to do. For each goal, ask yourself, does this still excite me? Does it fit into my life right now? If the answer is no, thank the goal for inspiring you in the past, and let it go. Then, write down 3 small things you want to try this month. Maybe learn to draw, call an old friend, or try a new recipe. Small realistic goals will bring joy and a sense of accomplishment without feeling overwhelming. When you let go of old goals, you open up space for new ones. Imagine yourself standing on an open road, no longer held back by plans that no longer serve you. You can walk with ease, focusing on what makes you happy today. That's how you build a meaningful life, one day at a time. So far, we have cleared our minds of invisible burdens and our living spaces of unnecessary possessions. But there are 2 final things, one visible and one invisible, that need to be cleared to truly live freely after 70. The expired medications in your cupboard, and the greatest fear that many people avoid, the fear of death. In this final section, we will face these things together, not with heaviness, but with courage and hope. We will also end with a call to action today, to make each day a gift. 6. Expired medicines and medical supplies. Take a look in your medicine cabinet. You might find old bottles of pills from a surgery you had 5 years ago, a tube of cream that expired a decade ago, or a bottle of vitamins you bought, but never used. These items may seem harmless, sitting quietly in the corner of a cabinet, but after age 70, keeping expired medications and medical supplies is a mistake that can have serious consequences. Not only do they clutter up your space, but they pose a risk to your health and safety. Consider Mr. Bictaindister Bed, Hoa, 81, who lives in Cantho. He had a habit of keeping every prescription medication he was prescribed, thinking that it might come in handy one day. One night, when he had a headache, he mistakenly took a bottle of painkillers that had expired 3 years earlier, instead of his usual blood pressure medication. As a result, he was hospitalized for unwanted side effects. The mistake was not due to his carelessness, but because his medicine cabinet was too cluttered, full of bottles of drugs he no longer needed. Expired medications can lose their effectiveness, or worse, become dangerous as they degrade over time. Even simple medical supplies like old bandages, broken thermometers, or inaccurate blood pressure cuffs can cause problems when you need them most. After 70, when your health becomes more delicate, you need a clear system that includes only the items that are reliable and fit your current needs. How to clean out. Take an afternoon to go through your medicine cabinet. For each item, check the expiration date. If it's expired, take it to the pharmacy for safe disposal. Don't throw it in the regular trash, as it can be harmful to the environment. If you're not sure what a bottle of medicine is, or why you're keeping it, ask your doctor or pharmacist. Keep only what you're taking, clearly labeled, and within its expiration date. Organize it neatly, perhaps in a small compartmentalized container for easy access. When you clean, you not only clean your physical space, but you also bring peace of mind. Imagine the relief of opening your medicine cabinet and knowing that everything in there is safe, reliable, and ready to support you. It also gives your loved ones peace of mind, knowing that if they need to help you in an emergency, they won't have to deal with a mess. Cleaning out expired medications is an act of self-love, ensuring that you are always well taken care of. 7. Fear of death. Finally, we come to the most difficult and liberating of all, the fear of death. After 70, thoughts of the finiteness of life can creep into your mind, no matter how hard you try to avoid them. It might surface when you hear of a death in a friend, when you're faced with a health issue, or simply in a quiet moment at night. This fear is often hidden behind jokes or silence, but it has the power to shape how you live, making you worry about the future, hesitate to make plans, or not enjoy the present. Consider Tuyet, 83, who lives in Haiphong. For years, she avoided talking about death, even refusing to write a will, thinking that doing so would precipitate its arrival. But after a hospital stay for heart problems, her daughter gently suggested that she talk about her wishes. They sat down and wrote down what she wanted to leave her family, from mementos to love notes. Surprisingly, Tuyet felt lighter afterward. "I thought it would scare me," she says. "But it turned out to be more relaxing. I no longer worry about what I left unsaid." Facing your fear of death doesn't mean you accept it or stop feeling afraid. It means you choose not to let that fear control your life. When you dare to think about death, about what you want to leave behind, what values that you want to pass on, how you want to be remembered, you take back control of your life. You begin to see each day as a gift, each moment with your loved ones as an opportunity to love, and each smile as a treasure. How to get started? Try small steps. Write a letter to your children or grandchildren. Share a story you want them to remember. Talk to a loved one about things that are important to you, whether it's funeral wishes, property, or simply your love for them. If you find it difficult to talk, write your thoughts down in a journal. You can also join a spiritual discussion group or community, where people openly talk about life and death. These conversations don't bring sadness, they bring clarity and peace. When you let go of the fear of death, you not only free yourself from anxiety, but you also open yourself to the present. Imagine yourself standing on a beach, the waves gently lapping at your feet, and you are no longer afraid of the distant horizon. You can enjoy the sunlight, the sound of the waves, and your own breathing. That is the greatest gift you can give yourself. The freedom to live fully right now. Conclusion. Take action today. We've walked through 7 things to let go of, to live more freely after 70. Guilt over saying no, negative self-talk, fear of not having new friendships, old stuff, expired goals, unnecessary medication, and fear of death. Each thing you let go of is a step toward a life of ease, meaning, and joy. You don't have to change everything at once. Just pick one thing, whether it's saying no to an inappropriate invitation, cleaning out a medicine cabinet, or starting a new conversation, and go from there. Think of each day as a new opportunity to reinvent yourself. You have lived through years of love, challenges, and growth. You deserve to live the rest of your days with a light heart and an open mind. Imagine yourself walking down a sunny path, no longer carrying the heavy suitcases of the past. In front of you are smiles, stories, and moments waiting to be discovered. I want you to try something today. Pick one thing from this list, and take a small action. It could be throwing away an expired pill bottle, writing a positive affirmation, or calling a friend. Share your story with a loved one, or in a community group, you'll be amazed at how your actions inspire others. And remember, no matter how old you are, you're still writing your own story. Make it a story of freedom, joy, and love.